and Lyft. Joe currently uses multiple phones to efficiently drive for Uber and Lyft. But this can be a pain at times and very unsafe. That was until Joe found Maximo, the rideshare app that automates Uber and Lyft ride requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and passenger rating, to determine which rides are best suited for Joe. When a ride request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will automatically accept the ride request that matches his filters, and then turn off the app that isn't currently on a ride. Once Joe finishes the ride, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to focus more on his passengers and driving safe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a mixed time zone rodeo live. We've got 10 p.m. in London, or in England. We've got 5 p.m. on the East Coast. We've got 2 p.m. on the West Coast. And so, yeah, thank you for joining us. I see that there's some people in chat. We will get to that in a few, since I'm not seeing any names yet, except for 2 people on the panel. But I want to welcome the panel first. So I want to welcome back Kim. You guys all know Kim. We got Gary, and he's feeling better. As you can see, he can even show his face today. Last week he was sick. And then we got Hannibal back almost at 100%, if not at 100%. Pretty close. So I mean, it's a lot stronger back the team. And then of course we have Miss Atlanta Delivers this way.
Hello.
And, back for round 2. So it's really nice to have you back at Atlanta. I don't want to get this wrong. So before we even jump in, the first time we covered the differences in the gig worker status, the worker classification, we talked about the hourly insurance and different insurance you could get, and some other issues. But the 4 main platforms that you work, again, are Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Just Eats, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, but is it Believery?
Delivery, yeah.
Delivery. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She got that. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Flex. Hey, Faith. Hey, Faith, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well with your family. So yeah, well, we're excited to have you back. One thing that's been being talked about a lot, I know Hannibal's talked about it, I've heard other people talking about it, I've talked about it, is over here we've been talking about recently W-2 work compared to full-time gig work, full-time W-2 work, or like a hybrid model of a job W-2 and gig work. And I noticed just recently you had you put a video out saying that you weren't delivering full-time anymore.
Yeah.
So now I guess that makes you into the hybrid category. And how is that? I mean, I guess this was only days ago, if I remember right, 4 or 5 days ago or something. So I know it's only been days, but how is that going?
Yeah, good. So I've actually been at KFC for like a month now. I'm doing Monday, Tuesdays there. It's working really well. It's actually made me way more productive. Because obviously doing it full time and you choose your hours, I was becoming so lazy with probably working part-time anyway. So now I'm like, have to go to that job on a Monday, Tuesday, and then the rest of the days I'm like, okay, now I know I need to deliver and make YouTube videos and edit. So I'm actually being so much more productive.
Maybe a little less stress too. Just because you know those 2 days are pay every week and you're not having to stress about how those hours will go. And
yeah, and it's nice to actually have a bit of social interaction again.
Yeah, I know Hannibal's made a lot of content on this that I agree. I was watching UDM's and Kim and Hannibal yesterday, and I agree with UDM's assessment that that was a wake-up video. I always think Hannibal puts out some really great videos. If Atlanta, when we're done, you're going to have to check out his channel. I know he wasn't here last time, but he puts out some very different stuff and a different look sometimes at things. And I would be surprised if he didn't have anything to say on this.
Well, thank you, Steve. You're so nice. Yeah, I'm watching. When you make videos on YouTube, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, but then you start to watch, especially in our space, it's a gig economy space, but then they connect it with like finance stuff and economic like a lot of content, at least it comes in my feed. And the more I hear really smart people, really, successful people are kind of warning us. They've been doing this for a couple of months now. That there's a significant problem here. There's too many things going wrong, and then I start to look at my phone and I turn on my apps and I start to see how things are not the same that they were, 6 months ago, or a year ago, 2 years ago. I want to make sure that I, at least in my place, in my channel, that I'm talking to people and saying, hey, be on the lookout for this, be prepared, do what you have to do. Even if things are going great now in your market, be careful, because things are, you go into a grocery store and things are just way more expensive than they are. Obviously the gas prices, but just the simple stuff that we buy every day. We're looking at a price and we're kind of giving a double take, like, is this how much this actually costs? And if we are scaling back, like if we're being more responsible with our money, other people will be too. And that's less orders for us, especially if you do food delivery and shopping apps. So it was more like a wake up call for me too, because I've been watching a lot of this stuff and I realized, that something is going to probably happen in the next couple of months. Some people say we already in a recession. I don't know. I'm not an economics expert or anything, but I do feel it when I go to the grocery store and buy groceries.
Yeah. So I guess one question I have for you, Atlanta, is like, over there, how is this pinch? Like, I mean, over here, we're feeling it big time. Like they say it's 8% more than it was or whatever, but every time I see these news reports, like I laugh, because for me, it's more like 40%. Like if my son and I, if I go spend $100 on groceries at the store right now, the same items that I get every week, I'm going to spend 140. So I call it more like 40% higher.
Yeah, everything's gone up here. I mean, our electricity's gone up 50%, I think it is. Like a crazy amount higher. That's done like a big impact over here. So way less people are ordering now for sure.
So, okay, so electric, but for your food, what about gas? Or petrol? What about petrol over there?
Oh yeah. That's gone up. That's gone up for sure, and it's still. Yeah, I mean, during the pandemic for us, it was like 99.9, so like a pound for us, and now it's at about 180, so it's gone up like 80%.
Okay, just to give you an example, like California is always high with their gas, but right now, like Rideshare Professor yesterday had a video on part of LA that was $8.16 a gallon.
Ouch.
No, we don't have driver Sensei here today to do the math like he was last time.
Yeah.
So. But I think we all know that's somewhere. What is that?
Yeah.
Somewhere around.
I hate math. I hate it.
I mean, but literally, even for California, that's almost double. That's pretty much double of what it should be.
I know you and Gary, Steve, you and Gary do rideshare, right? I don't think any of us do it, but I checked. It was like, I forgot what day it was, but my Jeep was being taken care of, and so I had to use Uber. And I looked at the price to go, probably a 15-minute ride, and it was like $20-something. I took the bus because I was like, I'm not going to pay $20 for 10-15 minutes. And I know there's some news articles talking about how Uber and Lyft are bumping their prices up, and I would understand if I paid and the Uber driver got most of that money, but you're not even getting that money. So I'm paying $20 and the driver's not getting the money. I'm like, well, I'll just take the bus. So it's going to be really tight in the next couple of months. I really feel that way.
I do too. I think when we get through this, I think we might be for the better, to be honest. I think a lot of things are going to shake out, but I think that sadly, I think we haven't peaked on the problems. I think that I think this summer is going to be very hard. I think it's time to, tighten up the money and watch yourself, make sure that, don't kill yourself working. Instead, maybe cut back on whatever you can. And I'm not like giving like a warning out to everybody, like the world's coming to an end. I'm just saying it might be time to kind of watch the extra spending or things of that nature. I don't know. I'm, for my son and I, and now that he's home all summer, plus he just got a job as a lifeguard, for those of you that don't know.
Yay.
And he's being paid $17.50 an hour. He's 15 years old, dude.
Are you
I
going to
was
charge them
washing
rent now?
dishes for $8 an hour when I was 15.
That was
That's
a long
awesome.
time ago, dude.
I think I was on £3 an hour when I was 15.
Mm.
Right. So what is the minimum wage? I mean, he's being paid way
It's-
over minimum wage.
Our minimum wage has gone up a lot now compared to
Yeah.
when I was that age.
Yeah,
I think it's like for that age maybe it's like £6 now.
Mm.
I think.
Okay.
Well,
So
thing
before
is-
I go any further, I just want to say hi to people that have joined in before. So let's see. So we said hi to Flex. We said hi to Faith Dasher Pass. Hello, Ed. Shirt. Hello. Is it Damo Drives? Hello, Daphne.
That's my dad.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Hello, Daphne. Hello, Dark Reaper. Hey, hello, Cody and Autumn, Alaskan Gigging Guns. Check those guys out if you want to see some beautiful scenery in Alaska while they do some gig work. What's up, Thomas? Hi, UDM. How are you? Good to see you in here. Well, these daytime ones might be kind of a good thing, maybe. I don't know. Gary, we went through this. Is it Nico or Nico? I'm going to screw it up.
It's Nico.
Nico.
Okay.
Nico.
Well, we finally had it said to us, or somebody phonetically spelled it out.
I've
and it
always
was-
said Nico. Everybody else was telling me I was wrong. And
Nico. Has
then-
Gary always said Nico?
Yes, I've always said Nico. Nico.
What's up, Rick? What's up, Rex? And what's up, Holly and Mac? How you guys all doing? Glad to see you in here. So yeah, so we've talked about the gas difference. I mean, it's really not much of a difference actually. Then I was kind of curious if maybe it wasn't as bad over there, or if sadly maybe it was worse or whatever, but it seems pretty level, like with how we're doing in terms
Their
of
gas seems like it's level with California, not with everybody. I pay $4 a gallon here.
well, but
I'm moving
okay,
to
but
your
what was it before all this started?
3
In
and some
Oklahoma.
change.
3 and
Mm.
change?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it always jumps around Memorial Weekend. It always goes
Yeah,
up around
yeah.
that. And so like before Memorial Weekend we was at 393 or something like that. And today I just looked today we're at 418.
I'm moving to your state.
I think
And-
that's just for lack of people in that state.
No,
As of right now, my corner gas station, well, on the cheap side, mine right now is $4.79. I just went today on my own corner, it was $4.99. And if you use credit card, it was $5.09. So I'm moving to your state.
Yeah. In Florida where I drive, it's $4.75 right now.
Still a bit lower than I guess I thought it was. I thought most, because my market's right up at 5, and we never ever, like when other people are talking about high prices, we don't get to 5, and we're right up there. And it's we usually have very good prices here, oddly, in the middle of the country, but who knows? But yeah, we also talked about the W2 gig work hybrid. I wanted to get into a little bit of the state of kind of people's minds right now, and not just gig workers, but just have you guys, like, I got to tell you guys, I normally I do all my own coffee at home. I ran out. When I run out, I maybe will go grab a coffee. I have a way of by noon I'll get a caffeine headache if I don't. I know that sucks. I should probably try and conquer this habit. However, it happens, and so it was one of those days. And yesterday I went out at 2:00, and we have a grocery store that has a Starbucks in it, and we have a Starbucks that's in the parking lot. So you have two in the same parking lot. One's a standalone. So I went to the standalone one to get a coffee, and they were closed due to lack of employees, and that's what it said on the door. We are closed due to lack of employees at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It was handwritten. Went over to the grocery store, and the lights were off in the Starbucks there, and they had it taped off with like the yellow security tape. I mean, this is like, it's the same story as the Walgreens thing. The Walgreens being shut down on a Saturday at 5 when they normally have 10 employees and 3 back in the pharmacy. So they don't even have one employee to keep the doors open anymore. I know that all of us aren't that rich to just be sitting at home and going, well, I'm just not going to work then. I mean, I know that we're not in that position. So what is happening? Am I the only one seeing this? Because I can't, I mean, I literally can't be. I know that everybody's seeing shortages places, but I'm seeing places shut down because of lack of workers.
Apparently,
yeah.
oh, sorry, I was
Go
going to say,
ahead.
apparently in the UK, there's currently more jobs available than unemployed people, which is the first time ever in history.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I guess
are they
that kind of puts it into perspective.
Are they paying higher to come on?
No.
Oh wow. See, that's
No.
a difference here. We're begging people by taking jobs nobody wants and adding a couple bucks to them. I mean, you can go get jobs that before you would have got for $4 or $5, $6 less an hour, and people still aren't taking them. I mean, it's crazy. I can't tell you the amount of places I go where I'm like, wow, you're short staffed. Now that barely even bugs me. I'm just happy if the place is open these days. And all I can think of is what this is going to do to mom and pop. I mean, I don't want to have an Applebee's and a Wendy's and a Target on every corner. I like the restaurants I like in this town. I like the things there are to do that are not around the country, but these places, can they sustain forever? Can they deal with and I've been talking about this for a while, but Atlanta said it too about over there, is that I think there is a slowdown in delivery right now. A lot of people can argue that here it's too many people are working the platforms, but I think there is a slowdown. I think that there are people who are concerned, and it's probably part too many workers too, but I think that there's an issue.
Well, I don't think that it's only that. I mean, most of us have heard the term summer slowdown. Every summer we slow down.
Depends where you live, but yeah.
I say not me.
I was gonna say some places do 10 times better in the summer. Some places only get the summer.
Well, a lot of places during the summer, you get college students that start doing stuff. You get teachers that start doing things and that nature. So summer's just typically, for most markets, a little bit slower than, say, the winter.
Yeah, in my area, I ramp up in the summer. Like, that's my busy time. Like, I actually look forward to summer just because of like the touristy, beachy towns of people coming from out of state and kind of all over to their beach homes. And food delivery picks up because especially like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, no one wants to come to their beach home or down the shore and cook the very first night. So Fridays are like crazy busy. But then they also, I found now just doing this with grocery delivery, everybody's like stocking their summer home for the weekends that they are there. So it's like a constant flow of people and people you don't normally have in your area coming in. So my summers are usually like, I'm like, yes, it's summertime again.
See, now in Oklahoma, it's slower. But once I go down to Florida, it's busier because, again, tourism. So I have everybody that's going, coming to Florida, they're vacation, whatever. They're going to Disney. They're going on cruises, and it's like Rideshare, for example, it's very easy to make money down there, especially during cruises, because, one trip to the port, that's, $30, $40. If I have to pick you up from the airport, it's $70, so it is going to depend on your market a little bit, but I think overall, unless you're in a coastal city or a tourism city, you're going to see a slowdown during the summer because, like I said, people leave the middle states to go to coastal states.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, or you probably aren't seeing this, Atlanta, but this was put up, and that seems like a lot to fill up a tank of gas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's crazy.
That's like $140 our money.
123.
It's like F-150 or something. What?
Oh, it's 115 pounds.
No. I'm like, what vehicle is going? Like, is that like?
I don't even know.
No, it's a Mazda. I can't remember the exact type. You'll
Oh,
have to type it
Mazda.
in.
Yeah.
It's not like a big car.
Yes.
That's just ridiculous, though. I
Yeah.
mean, never in my life have I seen anything like this, and we've seen things like this, but not like this. This is bad. But yeah, I also got to say on the flip side, though, it kind of has like for curry. I got to say that, you know, I always get good curry orders, but they're coming in much better, which made me kind of take in that, you know, the thought that maybe, you know, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because I don't want to hear this. I don't want to say this, but I heard Sergio from the rideshare guy say this too, is that the gas prices going up will make some of the gig workers fall off the platforms and maybe help with the saturation. And I actually do believe that. I do believe I'm seeing a lot more orders. Even I've been getting a lot anyway, but I'm seeing a lot more curry orders. Like I'm seeing 25, 30 a day. Whereas it was like, you know, it used to be 2, 3, I told you. And then even before this, I was starting to get to 10, 15 and it was getting good. But now there's just all day long, my phone's blowing up with curry.
I'm actually making a video about curry. It's definitely helped me, and I don't get as many orders as you, Steve, but I get one really good one to a point where I don't necessarily have to do anything if I don't feel like it for the rest of the day. So I'll
Except
drive
for
to
that one
Jersey,
job.
yeah, it's really beneficial, and that shows that there's still something happening with the economy. There's still people building. There's still some kind of construction. Or, you know, like I said, it depends on where you are. So like, you got to depend on what industry you're in and location, and then maximize and take advantage of that will be really beneficial compared to, like you said, just relying on food delivery or only relying on rideshare or shopping. You're going to have to figure out what's working in your market. It may be one of those apps that may be doing really well that you may not be looking at, but you should take a look at everything.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, go ahead, Kim.
No, I was going to say, I think the days of just staying in like one avenue are like almost done in order for you to be profitable in making money in what we do. Like, you know, I was just food delivery for so long, but then you find the other apps that are out there, whether it's rideshare, whether it's food delivery, like signing up for as many apps as like humanly possible and turning them all on, like it just gives you so many more opportunities. And I think that's kind of the way of the gig world and how it's going. It's not just one avenue and sticking with one avenue. It's like literally branching out and really seeing what the best offers are out there, whether it's curry, whether it's, you know, Spark, whether it's Uber Eats, whatever it is in your area. It's just a matter of finding whatever that is in your area that works.
Yeah, I was going to say that something similar. I find it surprising when someone tells me they only do one app now. Like, if you tell me, oh, I only do Uber Eats, I'm like, really? Like,
if it works for them. But I mean,
well,
like even.
But it's very
you know,
strange to actually hear that, though, is somebody's only doing one app.
You know, here's an example of over where Atlanta is, though, another courier company getting just hammered because of this. You know, it's unbelievable. So Atlanta, when you're working the weekends doing gig work, are the apps kind of all still, is there one that stands out over the others, or are you making the same amount at least on a Friday or a Saturday night? Or have you found you're having to work more hours to make the same amount? Or are you working the same hours for less? How's that all looking?
Yeah, I can't make the money I was making during lockdown for sure. There's no
Well,
way.
I mean, since the last time we talked, though.
Since the last time we talked, I'd say it's fairly similar. I'd say it was probably around March, April it started to quieten down a bit, and it's still kind of on that quiet stage. I don't know how it is for you guys. I'm actually quite interested. So for me, I deliver like in my town, and I have all the apps, but I could sit there for like an hour with not a single order. Like, is there always orders for you guys?
Oh yeah. In fact, most of we have Mr. Flex in here, who is the king of DoorDash, and also the king of declining orders. So he probably sees, Flex, tell me if I'm wrong, but he sees about 300 orders in a day, and he probably declines about 270 of them.
Well,
So
yeah,
he's
see, I
sitting
wish
there
I
all day
had
going,
that.
nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope, because they all are just awful orders.
But that's
Yeah.
not the only thing he does. I know that's what people know him for, but he actually has a payroll route as well.
Oh, I know. No, he still makes his money too. I'm just saying that's how many orders come through his phone, though.
Mm.
You know, she's
Yeah,
saying,
200
like, I don't think ever Flex has sat for an hour without an order
Oh, I have.
in Oklahoma.
I turn on right now. It might be 7 o'clock.
But not in Florida, I bet.
No, but yeah, that's tourism though. I mean, like I get
Right,
a lot of
well,
hotels and things like that. I'm right on the beach, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any app I can turn on here. I live downtown Denver. There's no app I can turn on and not have all of them just beeping at me pretty much immediately. They're just a lot of junk, is what it is. They're rides I don't want. They're jobs I don't want. The pay is wrong. There's no tip. You know, you don't have to adhere by Pedro's strict no tip, no trip. You know, but you can look at things and go, no, I'm not taking that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with him. First of all, if there's not a tip and you're doing the delivery platforms, you really should be looking at this. Again, Atlanta, a different market because they don't have the tipping culture. In fact, that's
Nope.
that's gotta be something too. I mean, I would just think it's just gotta be hurting. Is everybody hurting all around where you are?
As
Like,
in,
I mean, is
sorry,
everybody
what
just
do you mean?
is everybody having hard times right now? Even the people who were more
Yeah.
well-to-do than others all seem to be kind of like,
Yeah,
know,
I think everyone. I think because the cost of everything's gone up, I think everyone is struggling.
yeah.
now whenever you're at KFC working, are you typically busy the whole time you're there, or is it pretty slow?
I mean, in the days on Mondays and Tuesdays, it's pretty quiet, and then the evenings are pretty busy. I'm working there tomorrow. Actually, I'm helping out because it's the Jubilee weekend. I don't know how much you guys know about it, but the Queen's been in like the throne for 70 years today. So this is like
Wow.
a 4-day bank holiday. So tomorrow I'm helping out, and there's all like Jubilee parties. I've been to one today, and there's one right by the KFC tomorrow, 12 till 6. So it's going to be absolute chaos tomorrow whilst I'm working. But that's like a one-off. But in the days normally it's pretty quiet.
So it'll probably be pretty busy for gig workers during this time too. I'm assuming a lot of people ordering and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. And one thing that's really interesting is seeing from the other side, like working at KFC. Obviously now I'm doing the deliveries, handing them out. It's really interesting to see the other side of it. Like if now I'm having to make a driver wait like 10-15 minutes, like why? It's quite interesting from the other side to
Yeah,
see how it works.
I was gonna ask if you started to get irritated at gig workers yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the drivers are quite annoying, to be fair. You don't really see it from a driver's side, but like from now this side, I'm like, stop showing your phone in my face. Like I've just told you 4 times it's not ready.
we talk
Wait.
about this phone in the face thing all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, we've had some
Yeah.
incidents here of people grabbing the phone from the person because they're so mad
Oh, no.
and taking their phone. It's like, just let me see it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
things have gotten they get a little wily, I guess. But yeah, so the Jubilee, I think I saw a little something. I saw a video you posted on TikTok. It looked like there was food stands or places to buy food in the park though too. So that's probably
Yeah.
also taking away a little bit from the delivery. But
Mm.
yeah, I know that yesterday you said something on TikTok. I'm not sure if you ever said what it was, but you were very excited about something. Have you said what it is or?
No,
Oh,
I can't.
okay.
I don't think I can. It's something to do with being on TV. That's all I can say. I'm very
Okay.
excited.
No. Don't tell us.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you had already said it, so I was wondering what it was because you
not
looked.
yet. No, yeah.
I gotta say, you looked. I can tell true excitement. You looked very excited, and I thought,
Yeah,
well,
it's
this is probably pretty
definitely
big.
yeah, the biggest thing that's happened yet. So
Wow. Awesome. Okay.
that's all I
Well,
can
now I
say
can't
for
wait
now.
to hear what it is.
As in like could be like a life game changer kind of thing?
I mean, potentially if it's seen, I mean, it should be seen by millions, so hopefully that's gonna bring people over to my YouTube is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
quite possibly with
Oh, yes, well-
someone very famous. So
Is
Oh,
it
wow.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah, you might be
Is it
saying
Brad
too
Pitt? I
much.
might be
Don't
jealous.
get too close because
Oh, God.
we don't want you
Yeah.
getting in trouble or anything.
Is it
Yeah,
Ryan
that's
Reynolds?
awesome.
You can tell us if it's Ryan Reynolds. Just blink one.
So Hannibal, was it you talking about, and I found this interesting too about the W-2 thing. I don't know if you guys call it a W-2 in over there, do you? Probably not.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, great. So when I was saying
Job.
W-2
Job.
earlier, I was talking. That's what like a job is. Like when you're having taxes pulled out of the paycheck, you're not independent, you're a worker. You have a
Okay.
W-2 job, meaning the government's taking way more than they should out of your money and then handing you this little flimsy check and saying, here you go. But so what do you call a worker? You don't have any kind of like term for them other than worker that has it that
No, just
works?
you're just employed or self-employed.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't
They
just
don't
say
need
that
fancy
too. That
titles.
seems
They
easier.
don't need fancy titles at all. They're just like, you got a job or you don't.
Yeah.
we should be like that, we shouldn't. Maybe this means something. What is?
Oh yeah, pay. That's like to do with the tax you pay if you're employed, a W-2 worker.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So there is some tie. Okay.
Yeah.
But Hannibal, you were talking about have people even gone to look at W-2s? And I mentioned that a while back too. Like even the people who I say, I know you're not going to get a W-2, and I do. Like let's say I know these gig workers, and they'll go till they drop. They're not going to give it up. But I've even asked them, like, have you gone to look? Like, have you even just from home, not going out, not walking the streets, have you just got online? And then the other day you were talking about all the easy options. You were just mentioning all the apps you can get on just to see what jobs are out there.
yeah.
And I wonder
think
how many people even do that.
we should. I mean, I do. I look every once in a while to see what's available, see what makes sense. If you're happy with what you're doing and you really don't want to be told what to do, and many of us are probably in this room watching the show, and like I can see that it doesn't matter how crazy it gets. Many of us going to stick to what we're going to do with with the apps and other ways of making money. But I think that especially as things get a little tighter, you would want to check out some stuff that can provide more stability. I know we love the flexibility, but it don't have to be take a W-2 and stay there forever. It could be just as flexible as, hey, I'm doing this until things pick up more with the apps, and I'll leave this thing. So it's like, you want to still maintain some stability and some stress. You don't want to have a lot of stress dealing with the apps. If you really have to struggle to make it work, you have to do more than the hours that you did last year, and you're missing out on things with your kid. You're missing out things with your significant other. Having a job where you have your schedule, you do what you do, you get in, you get out, less stressful. It depends on the job, of course. But I remember when there was times where I was in a W-2 and I had any stress because I wasn't the boss. I did what I had to do and go home. But when you're in the gig work world, you're turning on the app, so you're doing freelancing stuff. Everything's on you. Like everything falls on you. Rather than when in W-2 if something goes wrong, you're like, well, that's the boss's problem, not mine. You can kind of leave. So I think it's not hard. It's not bad to take a look at those type of things.
Yeah, to me, it's even a step farther. I would challenge anybody to go. I mean, like for me, I'm kind of in Gary's boat. I do too many things, and I just can't have another boss. I just can't. I don't know. That boss would be in for either just letting me go the first day, or we're gonna butt heads. I guarantee it. But,
You want me there at what time? No, that doesn't work for me. I'll be there.
That doesn't work for my schedule.
that doesn't work for me. I'll be there when I get there.
I mentioned like the remote job. Sorry, Kim. I remember, or like I thought, like I thought this was going to be the new wave of like they're going to be remote jobs, and employers is going to let people work at home. But now I'm seeing stuff like, I know Elon Musk said for Tesla, he said all execs go back to work physically in office or quit. Like a lot of the big wigs are telling people to go back to office, where if the same work is being done at home, why do you need to be in the office? And I understand there's some people, and I know personally, where they remote work and they were goofing off. Like, I don't know if we all have a friend that's done gig work, did remote work, and they're like, "What will we be doing right now?" And you're like, "I'm supposed to be working, but I'm playing with my Switch right now." I'm like, "Yeah, but isn't that?" So I can see why they had that idea, but remote work, I thought it was going to be like the wave of the future. I don't know. I think they're more than employers that want people to go back into the office.
I think it also depends on what setting it is, because like Tesla's automotive, so it's really hard to do a lot of remote stuff if you have to supervise other people. Because you might be able to do your job remotely, but are you going to be able to supervise them doing their job in a warehouse if you're at home?
Yeah,
you're just not going to be able to. I know a lot of software companies, they're starting to do more stuff remotely. But I think anybody that actually has any physical product, they're going to have to be on site.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the sales department. That's probably one department that could stay remote.
I think that.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kim.
No, I just, not that I'm looking for a W-2 yet. I have no problem about going back if I need to go back, but I always keep my options open. To Hannibal's point, like I'm every once in a while going online, Indeed and, LinkedIn and all that fun, job boards that are out there. But I feel like this is like the perfect time, and this is the way I look at it, to apply for like those crazy jobs that you would think that like no way would anybody hire me with the experience they have. But what the heck, you have nothing to lose because people are hiring. You never know what kind of jobs you can get by just getting your name and your resume out there. So that's just another way of looking at the job industry right now, is like shoot for the moon. You never know what you're going to get.
Or shoot for that dream job that you've even just go look for your dream job. And if it's there and you're like, what would you have done a year or 2-3 years ago? It would have said, oh, here's the prerequisites. Oh, I don't meet all those. I'm not even going to apply. So let's say that you see those same prerequisites, apply right now.
You'd be surprised.
And just put the cover letter in there that says, I don't have half of these prerequisites, but I'm willing to learn, in your own words, kind of thing. And I wonder how many people might not get at least some leg into the company and a chance to get that job, because they're having trouble keeping anybody. I mean, and also I think part of it's like the ghost town theory, like all these buildings are abandoned. And like you were saying, like, why can't we just work from home? I agree. I think that that's on its way, but I live in Denver, so it's a little different. You live in New York, way different animals. So, I mean, like Gary in Oklahoma, I bet you there's just like a tumbleweed going down his main street.
What's going on with the Oklahoma slander this afternoon?
Yeah. What's up with that, man? Are you high? Is that it? Are you high? Smoking that stuff, huh?
I'm comparing it to Wyoming's what I'm doing, which is north of me. And we make jokes about Wyoming because Wyoming has more is it deer, I think, than they do people. So, they really just, there's like 2 big cities and then like a semi big city, but that's it. But I don't know. I mean, things look kind of ghost townish in a lot of cities, and I say that again by saying that everything's closed. It's just baffling to me, like Starbucks. The 2 Starbucks I just mentioned, these again are on a main street in Denver. They're in the same parking lot and both are closed at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Here's one thing I've ran into is, even if they're open, like Best Buy, you go in there, you see something that you want, and they're like, well, order it from our website. We'll ship it to you. Why? If I'm already in your store, why are you not carrying this stuff? If you're going to be open, be open.
Yeah.
Well,
that could be part of the supply chain issues. And
I guess I would hate for to be like that store manager of those Starbucks and have to call my DM and say, hey, listen, you're losing out on money today because I don't have staff. Do you know how much stuff I was going to say a bad word, but you know how much they're like trouble, like they're in for losing that company. God only knows how many thousands of dollars just by not opening those locations. But I mean, it's not their fault, but yet someone has to be accountable for it.
I mean, Atlanta, is anything like that going on where you are? I mean, do you see, is anywhere like that you would say, never would this place be closed? Potentially, are they closed?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Just short-staffed, I think, but not shut completely, no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just, place to place. It's weird to me in a city as big as I live in. Denver's almost 1 million people now, that we have a lot of things that aren't open, and a lot of places that even their phone systems don't match up. And now they've like reposted hours. And if you call the phone system, like my PetSmart, it says open till 9 if you call. But if you go there now, it says, on these days we're only open till 6. And it makes me wonder too if like the head office even knows this, or if the manager's just like, we don't have any people, I'm shutting it down.
I've noticed in Brooklyn, and definitely probably all parts in New York City, the amount of small businesses that have been like just like devastated, like destroyed, especially in lower income neighborhoods. You can walk a couple of blocks and just see shuttered gates after shutter gates, from clothing stores, from furniture stores, all like really small business stuff. And that's more of the, while we all complain about a lot of stuff we talk about, I don't want to go into politics, but this idea that, during the situation 2 years ago, he was able to go to Walmart, he was able to go to Target, but like the small businesses were forced to close, and it's hard to keep them going up, obviously. So like, yeah, like you were saying earlier, like having a Wendy's or a Starbucks in every corner, that's going to happen because like the small businesses are done. I would say a fair amount of them closed unless they were doing really, really great before. It's a lot of small businesses that it's just a block, like it's a ghost town. A lot of areas in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel that some of my favorite places are closed, and I don't know if some I don't know if it's for good. Some I do know are closed for good. Atlanta with the W-2 job, even though they know you have your kid and they know you have a schedule and the rest of your week is out of their hands, kind of thing. Even if it's not you they're approaching, are you seeing that like they're begging other employees to take more shifts than they
Every
have?
day.
Every day.
Every single day, constantly today, especially because of Jubilee, every day they're like, we need like these people, like someone needs to come in urgently. Like that was literally the group chat today. Someone needs to come in urgently. And then like 20 minutes later, we need someone to come in. 2 people have called in sick. We need someone to come in urgently for front. Like some days, even when I can be on front and be running the till, in-store orders, the drinks and deliveries. And that's just me having to do it all because there's just no staff.
Wow. So do they ever ask you like to stay longer because like they're not short staffed and you kind of get like roped into staying longer than what you're scheduled for?
Yeah, I mean already the last 2 weeks I think I've done 4 days instead of my 2 days just because they're so short staffed. And I am available, do you know what I mean? So I will help out if I can. But even then, like last night I went in for 4 hours because they were just desperate. And then it was just me and one other person on front. And last night was almost like a Friday night for us because the bank holiday started today. It was like a Friday night last night, and just 2 people trying to, like, the receipts I had for deliveries alone just filled up the whole table at like 20 deliveries at a time. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do. People like the in-store customers, we were having to like refund people because they're like waiting so long. You're like, there's just nothing. It's like out of our control.
So like, how many people should staff the restaurant you're at, and how many
So
people like on a bad day like today, how many people are working there?
So I guess the front area. So if you look at last night compared to the night before, last night there was 2 of us and it was super busy. The night before we had 4 just on the front. Even with the 4, it wasn't enough. So when you're like halving that, I mean, I think realistically on the front, you should probably have like 5, I'd say. So when that's either 1 or 2, is quite a problem. And that's the same throughout the store. Like the kitchen area might just be 1 person when there's meant to be like 3 or 4 people. Like it's throughout the whole store. It's really difficult. They just can't get the staff.
See, I don't think I've ever seen a KFC ever have more than 4 people ever. Even fully staffed, I don't think I've ever seen my KFCs have more than 4.
But
Yeah, I would agree.
So here's a question I have though. Then okay, so why are the KFCs that we have saying we're screwed? We don't have enough people, and they're saying okay, add $4 an hour to the pay on the sign out front. But where she is, same corporation, not offering any more money, and they're facing the same problem.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're
still
facing the same problem because they're not offering any more money.
Yeah, it's still minimum pay, minimum wage here.
I mean, I hate to say this, but different countries work different ethics.
No, I know, but that's why I'm using this KFC example, because we have them, they have them.
Like for example,
if we fall short, they're not going to accept. We need 4 people, we have 2. That's not acceptable. They will hire in at $4 more than they can afford to pay right now to keep that running.
Even the other day, something really interesting was, it was pretty busy. The deliveries were getting cancelled because there wasn't enough drivers, which I found really interesting. We had loads cancelled. Even like there was one that was like a £70 order that got cancelled because there wasn't any drivers.
Are KFCs and like fast food chains like franchised over there just like they are over here?
Yeah, franchised, yeah.
Now, do you think that if they gave $4 more over there, that people would work?
Yeah, I'd think so. I probably would have started. I only started because I'm friends with everyone already. But I mean, if the money was higher, then I'm sure more people would start there. Like even like college students and stuff.
Well, because see, here's a perfect example. I think it was last month, I got an email from a headhunter, and I turned it down because I don't want to go work in the office. So it doesn't matter what they're paying. And I think that's what we're coming to realize in the United States is, well, I don't want to do that. I don't care what it's paying. Like, Steve, what's it going to take for you to go work the drive-thru at McDonald's?
$500,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's going to take
that's a good business model. Pay Steve $500,000.
and I think a lot of people are coming to that realization that, well, I don't want to go do that job. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
the gig work is more attractive, and I'm wondering because we have like 11 million unopened like jobs that are available right now in our country, right? 11.3 to say. Is it because there's still, I don't know how many gig workers we have here, but is that the reason where we're all holding and we're all waiting for everyone else to go back to those jobs? Like Steve, you're just saying like maybe this high gas prices will get some of the people are not as committed as the rest of us. What happens if the majority of us all have that same idea? Like, we're just gonna wait for the other person to leave while we're still, and then nothing really changes. Like, I'm wondering if we didn't have these apps at all, would there have been 11 million jobs available?
It's
Probably
like when
not,
people
right?
say they're going to quit smoking. Oh, if it hits $8, I'm going to quit smoking. $8 a pack, I'm going to quit smoking. If it hits $12 a pack, I'm going to quit smoking.
Well, I will say this. I don't know if Atlanta's probably not, but the rest of you are probably familiar with Chris, Real Rideshare Stories. He's been doing a live with Sergio and Gabe and the other contributors to the Rideshare Guy lately. I think it's on Wednesday evenings or something early. And when they were having this debate and Sergio said that, they all got wide-eyed and were like, what are you talking about? Higher gas prices are fine. Are you insane? And then he explained it and they still were like, no, if it gets any higher, and I know, Gary, you're saying that it's just, an idle threat, but there were a lot of people in that chat I was watching who were like, I'm not doing it right now. They can't justify it if they were just making it before, but now, you can't take away. There's a point you can't take away anymore.
There's a breaking point.
Well, but there's also some workers that refuse to do things. Like I know people that will refuse to go do an Amazon warehouse block. doesn't matter how much it pays. They just absolutely refuse to do it. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a gig worker, as Kim says many times, you have to float between the apps and pick which one's paying the best, and that's the one you probably should be working.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I brought up Curry, because I think Hannibal and we both have SUVs. Hannibal's got his Jeep. I have my RAV4. I honestly know that I get a lot of Curry orders anyway because I have the SUV. But I think that probably same as with Hannibal is that we're seeing more orders now, even because they're like, normally we would try and get this to, the next size up, but it will fit. We'll throw it down to these people. To the next tier, and it's coming through at amazing prices. I mean, even the launch price, like I know how to wait it out and see how much it'll go up, but only on some. I mean, some come through so high paying that you can't help but not take it. But
I'm just wondering how many people out there, because I know I'm included in this as well, have left the W-2 world and has done gig work and said, nope, I'm never going back to what I was doing before. Like, you're willing to go back to a W-2, but then like you're like, okay, I'm going to start from scratch because there's no way I'm ever going. Like, unless they never is never. That's a strong word, but it's a very slim chance that I really want to go back to what I was doing prior. So then you kind of start the vicious cycle all over again. Well, what am I going to do? Well, what jobs are out there? And you kind of, you almost feel like you're going through, I don't want to say a midlife crisis, but you're like, okay, well, where do I even begin?
Because most of us hate our jobs before this, right?
Right.
Like I saw some statistics, like a lot of people hate, like I never hated a job I ever did. I had strong dislikes. I never hated my jobs that I ever done, but some people say I hate my job. So imagine living that kind of life where you hate something you have to do every day. So I think there's many people
you didn't
quit
and
they
hate your
decided, I'm not
job.
going to work.
You didn't hate your job. You liked the work, but I know like with the last job before the pandemic, like I don't think let me put it this way. I don't think you could have done another day there.
I wasn't happy
with
the work.
I mean, like to the point, it probably even affects how you feel about the job, the work. And I think that had more to do with your supervisor, manager, whatever it was.
Yeah. I think a lot of the problems I think about a lot of our jobs is the effectiveness of the manager. I think if the managers that we have aren't as trained as well as they should, and they don't get trained. I mean, I was a manager, and you kind of have to learn to go because the owner doesn't know what they're doing either. So you have to figure out what works. And I think a lot of our jobs, we're dealing with a manager who doesn't know what they're doing, or they have personal grudges, and that just makes it a really bad environment. Not the work itself, but like the dynamics between your coworkers and your manager. So I think gig work is a more attractive option. Where you may have to deal with that annoying person at the restaurant, but that's only for a couple seconds. You're back in your car and you go off to do delivery.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick through the gig world. I'm going to stick through waiting for laser. Laser companies are already coming back. I mean, I've been offered to do out of country gigs, and I'm just like, man, I'm not there at all. For one, my son just hit summer, but I mean, I'm not ready to go spend weeks in a different country right now. I've done it for many, many years. I'm not up for that. I don't think that
sounds like a horrible thing to go do. Just terrible.
Right now, I wouldn't want to do it right now. I've done it enough times that it's a great thing to do. It's a lot of work. Though.
You want me to go to Paris and do a live show?
Well, here let me refine that a little bit. When I do go there, I don't get to do much, Gary. I do a load in. I do a test. We sleep on rafters until the show starts. We do the show. We tear down. We load out, and then we're gone. And I'm like, what city was that? Paris? Great. Like, I sometimes I don't even know where we are, kind of thing.
They should at least give you a day to go wonder.
It depends. If you have like a multiple day run, then usually you do your setup, and that after the first night's show, you would have that night to go out because you don't have to be back until sound check and stuff the next day. But that's just rare. Usually you're just on the run all the time. So
I'm with you. I'm gonna ride out the gig work till gig work's not here.
Yeah, because there's other way. There's other ways to do things.
What we count one day, like
I don't know if they have them over. I don't know if they have them over in Europe, but Hannibal had uncovered some cuddling apps the people who are like have been too lonely during the pandemic and just need
I
human
gotta sign up
contact.
and start making some money from this.
You're never gonna live that down.
They need a hug.
No, but I mean, like on that site, it's it's very specific that it's no sex. It's just this, that, the other. But it's an hourly rate. It's a high hourly rate. It's like $80. But there's an overnight rate too. I mean,
Steve, you could rent a friend. There's a website called rentafriend.com.
I saw
You can rent a friend. You can I guess pay someone to be your friend for a while.
Oh my gosh!
if
I ever
told you
get that,
Steve, you're gonna look it up. But yes, it's rentafriend.com.
Yeah, I've seen it, and actually, it just makes me wonder who is on there. Like that somebody would even sign up. Like, man, I need a friend.
We need friends. We all need friends.
I know, but how do you not? I don't know. Even after the pandemic, how do you not have one?
It's lonely. A lot leave at the door. No one wants to interact with each other anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good point right here.
Wait, is it really a friend though if you have to pay them?
I don't know the rates though, but
it doesn't matter the rate. Is it really a friend if you have to pay them to come hang out with you?
I don't know. Nowadays, you can put any picture with any profile, and you never know what you're walking into. Just saying.
True.
Yeah, I sent Hannibal a link to I don't know if he saw it, but to a cuddling app that has gone under, but they were almost a dating app. It was like it was based on cuddling. Like, hey, meet somebody, see their picture, go cuddle with them, and then if it works out, cool. Like, I was like,
see, that's a bad business model. See, they're trying to do some hanky panky. We're not doing that. I know you guys are worried about being safe, but we do gig work, and a lot of us are getting hurt from gig work or delivering food. So, like, what difference is that between delivering some food and cuddling with somebody?
Because your one-on-one interaction with a person.
You one-on-one.
Wait, did you really say what is the difference between delivering?
You're still going into the person's house to deliver the
about $78 an hour.
You know what?
That's the difference.
Gary, I was backing you up when there was all that Oklahoma slander, and now you're not backing me up.
I would normally back you up, but seriously, I have to pick and choose with too.
There we go. That's easy money. You can do both. Drop off their food and give them a cuddle.
Oh, look at that. Thank you. And you know what? That's the kind of mindset that we need, like that business mindset. It's a stack order.
Are you going to let them eat in a bed while you cuddle?
Listen, don't need details, Gary, but
the training video for cuddling should be the scene from Pulp Fiction with the gimp.
No, what's wrong with you?
Just so you know what could happen.
So how do you multi-app with cuddling app?
I don't know yet. When I let you know, I'll do a full breakdown.
What happens if you get a stacked order?
You know what? What are we talking about here, guys? It always goes off the rails when you guys mention cuddling.
Derailed.
So Alana, so back to you. So what's your favorite food to eat?
Favorite food to eat? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I've eaten quite a lot of KFC recently. It's probably not my favorite. Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't think I do. Overall, no.
You don't
I
have
like
a favorite
everything.
food?
No, I don't think so.
So
do you have a favorite type? A favorite type of
like
food?
Italian, Mexican.
I mean, probably Italian. Yeah, probably.
I don't think I've ever met somebody that doesn't have a favorite food.
No, I don't.
Weird.
I'll take pizza every day of the week.
Yeah, second that, Gary. Love pizza.
I love pizza. Pizza is one of my weaknesses in life.
So another thing relating to the gas issue, though, that was going on, like we're stopping it here, but the gig apps were giving this incentive. Again, another reason why I believe that sticking it out might be a good thing during the high prices, because they were trying to make it seem like it was really helping you when it wasn't doing anything. Did you guys get a gas incentive over there from the apps? Like Yeah, see, we got this, and it didn't really do anything. It didn't help. It was so minuscule that Kim, do you remember what it even was? It was
Uber,
I can't remember.
yeah. Uber was 30, it depended on your area, but my area, Uber was 35 cents for food delivery per delivery, and I think 45 cents for rideshare. DoorDash did a tier. It was like $5 for I forget the
100
miles. Yeah.
or 100 miles, and then 250 was like something else.
Yeah. And then I can never figure out Grubhub. Grubhub, I feel like only did it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I couldn't figure out what the percentage was.
Yeah,
I randomly got $2 or $4, or I couldn't figure out what they were doing.
And they were actually the first one to come out with it too, Grubhub.
They were actually the first ones to say, "Here you go." But I guess this is what I have a problem with the gas prices now are 10 times, not 10 times, it's being dramatic, but they're so much higher now than what they were when this first started, that like now's the time that we actually need it, and every single one of these companies took it away. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if it's a lost cause, but I just don't see it being right either.
I don't even know why they took it away, because the customers were the one paying for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they realized the customers were not ordering as often as they were.
Yeah, that 45 cents stopped them from ordering.
I don't know. But you know what? Curry has not stopped theirs gas incentive. So in case you guys want to check it out.
What about Instacart, Steve? Did they stop paying?
Instacart stopped paying people back in a couple years back, I think.
Whenever they started.
They're a nonprofit now. You're just supposed to volunteer some time if you can to deliver for free and use your own gas, I think.
So,
what is the grocery delivery side over by you? Like, do you have something like Instacart or any of those?
No, not where I live. I think there's possibly in like London, but for us there's nothing. I guess it's one of our differences, like with you guys. We spoke about this last time, of you guys having to go into the store and buy everything. We don't do that. We just get like a shop, and we just pick up the bag, and that's it. And I said on the last time when I went to Florida in December, and I was chatting with the driver, I think I had my daughters needed some few bits, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have this. Can I get you this instead?" And this was like a few things, and I was like, "Wait, you're having to like pick these items up yourself? Like what?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh, let me like increase your tip, because we don't have to do that over here." But like where I am, ours is so Just Eat, Uber, and Deliveroo. There's some shops. Well, Just Eat has no shops on it. Uber and Deliveroo has some shops, but that's the same for us, like KFC, that we just go in, say the order number, and pick up the bag and go. So I guess it's a bit different.
That's how Spark is for the most part. I mean, just show up and get the bags and go. I don't do the shopping deliveries, but I just do the pickup
on Instacart.
No, I don't do Instacart at all. Like, I would have to make a bot for that.
Yeah, maybe, I see Thomas. Thomas is always the first one to make a comment about my non-Instacarting. Steve loves Instacart. Like one of these weeks, I'm just going to do only Instacart and show you how bad I earn, so I can show you guys. And then
I'm surprised you have the app on your phone.
Oh yeah, dude, I got it ready to prove people that there's no orders. And
he would probably delete, like he would probably pre-record it and then realize he made money and like, oh, I can't show that.
No, I'd be straight up, because when I finally did it, I didn't even think. See, he put it in there again. But I did the Shipt versus Instacart challenge, and I hadn't done either. And I'm going to be honest. I think you guys already know this. My expectations for Shipt too, which Atlanta Shipt is our delivery for Target basically, but it also does other things. So you pay a membership. But I did Instacart versus Shipt, and I couldn't save my life to get a good order or two out of Instacart. But Shipt, I was crushing it.
So is Shipt giving you gas incentive?
No. No, maybe to the premiums. I probably don't do it. I've been doing a lot of curry, man. It's
I know you keep sending me the screenshots, and I just want to tell you,
it's
stop.
crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm not kidding that I'm not, it's no joke. I'm getting 30 a day, at least 30 offers a day. And if I don't take one that I'm even debating, it's not like it was 8 months ago where I have to go, I'll take it, because you're just, if you don't take it real quick enough, you're not going to get it, not a chance. But it's like it'll sit there and then it'll go up in price, so you can gauge that. But if I let one go and I'm like, it's only, because now I'm like looking for like all unicorns. It's really sad that, or it's really awesome, but it's kind of crazy that I can sit there and hand pick unicorns instead. I don't think, that's the one unicorn today.
Every platform.
It's like everything's a unicorn. It's like catch the biggest unicorn you can, but they're all unicorns. I mean, but again, that's construction. Construction's up in the summer. So that's why I think, like with Kim always saying that you have to be on all the apps. Yes, you do. That's why with, like you got to be willing to pivot. Yes, you do. You got to be willing to know what your costs are in a day to know what you're really making. All of this is just, it's key to making it work. Because if curry pay went way down tomorrow, you think I'm still going to just sit there and rely on curry? No, I'm going to pivot to making Shipped my front app again and put curry as I'll take them when they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I can just, it's weird that I can just literally make a day of curry. And like Hannibal said, sometimes like a run for curry might be like round trip, might be 6 hours, but if it is, I'm getting paid really well.
And like you said just now, that when you first start doing gig work, and you probably made the first 3 months, and you're doing, you can say DoorDash, and you're doing really, really well. And in your mind, you think, "Oh, I'll just do this for the rest of my life. I'll just make all this money." And then you realize things change very quickly, and then other apps come in, and they come and then, but you realize, okay, yeah, this is doing well right now, but I know things may change with the season, may change a year, something. So you have more experience, you're more weathered, so you're not depending on one thing to make money. You realize that things can change in a moment's notice, and it's different when you're a beginner and you just had that idea like, oh, this is just great, it'll just keep happening.
Yeah,
I think the excitement goes away as well. When you first start these apps, you're like, oh yeah, let me go. But then once you do it for 10 hours a day, 40, 50 hours a week for 7 years, you're like, oh, damn, I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Atlanta, do you think that if your job continues to ask you to work extra days, that's something that you could keep? If that kept happening week after week and you kept saying, okay, I will this time, but I really can't. You guys know I have a kid, my schedule. I told it to you when I hired on, and it just kept happening. I mean, if it came down to it, would that mean just leaving the job?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they generally, like the store managers, like my best friend, we're going on holiday in like 2 weeks. So
Okay.
it's pretty much been in like the group chat if anyone can come in. And a lot of the time at the minute, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, if it was crossing over that I couldn't film like for my YouTube and stuff, and suddenly I can't do a video, because I fingers crossed, I'm yet to miss a Sunday video. So if it came down to something like that, then yeah, I guess so. But I think I'll be, strict enough that I'll be like Mondays and Tuesdays. And then if I know that I can do another day and they need it, then I will. But I don't think there's not much pressure. If I say I'm busy, I'm busy. So
there's more chance that you'll go back to doing gig work full time than working there full time.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm hoping is my YouTube takes off. And then I can
something big is happening with Atlanta, but we can't try and get it out of her because she has to keep this secret. Because I don't know what it is, but when
are we gonna know? Can you tell us that?
I don't know. I know when I'm filming, but I don't know yet when it's coming out.
Oh my God, it's got to be killing you. I'm sure there's a very select few people in your world who know, but Yeah, it's got to be killing you to not tell people. I don't know. With all your, by the way, Atlanta's social platforms are all going to be in the show notes. Her YouTube channel's in there now, but we'll put the rest in too. Because I know even on TikTok, you know, I've seen some of your videos that are like 1 million views plus. And then you have, you know, like 44,000 followers. And I know that's just kind of how TikTok works. I know that sometimes, you know, some things catch right, but I know that you have around 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? Maybe somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but that's just crazy what happens on TikTok. And I don't even know where you get monetized on TikTok, but I've heard some pretty crazy stories. Like, well, you got to have 1 million followers or some like outrageous number before you get monetized. I'm like, what?
I get paid, but it's horrendous.
Oh, you do? You do,
Yeah, I
even
get
at that
paid.
number.
It's 10,000 followers and a minimum of, I think, 100,000 views in the last 28 days. But the pay is horrendous. I earn way more off of YouTube with 40,000 less followers.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it all adds up. It all adds up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these are other ways, and this is what everybody has to do. If you're going to stay in the gig world, if you're going to stay your own boss, you're going to have to pivot. And like, that's why these work for some of us, to try and have creator channels or, you know, sponsors or work with companies or whatever we can do. But yeah, some people are, you know, finding themselves in real jams right now. And again, we know it's market to market, but it is time to weigh what is really possible in your market right now. I know that some people are sitting there like Gary and I and saying, we're sticking through this, we're here, you know, but do you have the means to support getting through some months if you need to, or are you day to day? Because if you're day to day and the market's flipped that bad on you, you might have to look into going hybrid or W-2 for, even if it's just for a little bit, you know, just remind yourself of how bad you don't like having a boss, whatever it is. But I think that I'm not sure everybody has pivoted yet. I'm of the opinion too that we're, you know, California's housing market is like right on collapse right now. And I think that the rest of the nation is not far behind. I've said this to a couple people who debate me on it. And honestly, I think that we are coming up on another housing crisis, a big one. You know, I don't know. I don't know what everybody's going to do, because we had all these people, we had government help for so long on so many different levels. It's like the government here was just throwing money at you for the last 2 years. Like, even if you were like, no, I don't need it, I'm working, they're like, here, just take this then. And they were doing so much stimulus to the economy. And now it's like, there's nothing out there, and they just expect everybody to snap back. And yet we're not really allowed to snap back. You know, it's not like it's.
I think Marion, I don't know if she's still in the chat, but she was saying yesterday, and you can correct me, Hannibal, if I'm not saying this right, or Marion, if you're here, she was saying that loans now, like home loans, are like 8%. I think it's what she said yesterday, which is like the highest it's been in like the housing market in a while.
Yeah. It was like fire hot, and then like it's just going in the other direction.
Yeah, I just bought my new house a month ago, and it was hot.
Rex, where are you at? Because in the very start of the housing market collapse in was it 08? Was it 08?
I think so, yeah.
In 2008, the housing collapse. The first sign I had of it was a friend of mine who lived in Las Vegas, who's a lawyer, and he found that like his entire cul-de-sac had the bank repoed signs on front, like his whole block.
Wow.
Like and that's when he was telling me this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, because at the time, like we weren't feeling it here, but it was like the first sign I had of it. And then we really started seeing the collapse. But he's like, oh my gosh, he's like, I don't even have neighbors anymore. He's like, there's 8 houses. I got like 1 neighbor of the 8 houses. He's like, all the rest are bank foreclosed. And so, I mean, I don't know if we're there yet. And Rex, I don't know what market you're in, but if you could drop that, because if it's California, I think, San Antonio, Texas, I see. So yeah, I mean, if it's happening there too, I think that we're about to see, and nobody can afford a house anymore. And if you cannot afford the house that you need or want. That's for sure. If you have a 5-person family, you're going to be getting yourself into a smaller home. If you're a 2-person family starting up, you're not going to be able to afford a home. Very few anyway.
Yeah, I think between the banks raising the interest rates or the interest rates going up and everybody wanting more out of their homes, even though they're not more valuable, that is causing a lot of issues.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm glad the government stimulus is going away, because it needed to. I mean, things were getting really ridiculous. However, like, now what? Now they've created this whole 2 years of people reliant on this. Hey, where's that free money bag you just throw at me every so often? Like, it's like, I didn't get my free money bag. It's like, okay, listen, guys. Like, I hope you didn't think that was forever, because those are gone. We're out of those.
Definitely.
The house market is crazy.
It's
over
like,
here even.
Do you rent Atlanta, or do you own your house?
No, so we've just put our house up for sale actually, and since my partner bought it 9 years ago, it's now up for 2.5 times the amount from buying it then.
Well, that's
right.
good for you though.
Which is great. Which is great for them.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's just going to go to the next place they live.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to have to buy something as expensive.
Yeah, and more.
So it's so really my take on it is that, like, it's just a pivot. It's not like you're getting 250% of what you paid and you're going to be able to take that money and go get twice the house. You're going to get the same house at just somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is around here anyway. I mean, if you were to sell a house because you're like, wow, my house is 300% its value from when I bought it, you're going to go have to pay 300% for the house you want now. And people are buying houses here sight unseen. People just buy them without even coming here.
Well, one thing I noticed when I was looking for my house is people were wanting more for their houses than what they would appraise for. And so, like, you'd see them come on the market, they'd be gone that same day. And then a week later, when the appraisal came back, it'd be back on the market, because what they was hoping for is some investor or someone from overseas or something would buy these houses for cash, sight unseen. And then they'd get more money out of
it. Right.
Damn it.
I had to put it up, man.
Trying to sneak that in there to the chat.
I like, as soon as I did it, he's like, damn it. So I don't know, Atlanta, like, what about your partner? And like, you guys are selling the house. Are you moving to a different area? Are you trying to get something bigger? Like, are you guys preparing for whatever this next however long brings us? I mean, is that kind of part of what you're doing, or?
Yeah, so at the minute we live in, but I moved in with my partner. He was living on his own. Now he's got me and my daughter in a small house. So it's not enough room. Also his work, he's a delivery driver as well, but also does magic and Punch and Judy, which probably means nothing to any of you. It's like a British puppet show, which will probably make a bit more sense. So that takes up loads of room in the house. So we just need somewhere bigger. We're going to stay in roughly like the same area, but we just need more space.
Okay. So you will be able to get a bigger place in the same area.
We'll put this money straight to a house and then have to put more money towards it, or get like a small mortgage as well. We can't just like put this money straight to somewhere and get a bigger house.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I don't know.
Like Nyko pointed out there, though, a mortgage right now is still cheaper than rent. I mean, Kim,
Yeah.
what'd you find out? You was telling me before the show you was looking at places to rent.
Yeah, I wanted to be prepared for the show tonight, so I was looking up rent cost in New Jersey. They said the average one bedroom was like $1,100, but I feel like not around my area. My area, like the average bedroom for me, it probably is like 1,500. If you want to go to like a 3 bedroom to a house, I'm gonna say you're gonna be like 22 to 2,300 a month. Just to kind of depends,
That's
but
crazy.
for me, like for New Jersey, it's the property taxes that kill you. Like we're like one of the highest property taxes in the nation.
Mhm.
Why?
I don't
Mhm.
know
Do you
why.
know why?
I have no idea why. It's as far as I know, I've lived in New Jersey my whole life. It's all about property taxes. You know,
Yeah.
mine
No,
are
I was
actually,
just curious if there was a rhyme and reason to why New Jersey was.
I don't know. We also have the highest in car insurances in the nation. Like it's just really a high cost
Do
of
you have
living. Like
state tax there?
yeah, yeah. And then like property taxes are like the big like real like my taxes are actually pretty good to the rest of the state. Like my parents, the area that they live in, they're paying like $13,000 a year in property taxes, probably for like a 1,600 square foot home. So property taxes are just crazy.
Hey, John McCallions cracking dirty jokes at us. Did you see this? Hold on, Gary. There's one about you too.
Boom, boom, psh.
Where is it? Here it is.
So he does that.
Hey,
I guess you
John, you know we're gonna see you in
Uh-oh.
like a
Uh-oh.
month, right?
I ain't walking you.
That's it.
Very
When we
funny.
get to the gig conference, we're all
That
gonna
was
tell
nice of you to
John.
leave the ladies alone, John. Oh gosh. Well, what else is on your plate for the summer, Atlanta? Before we get out of here and we let you plug your channel and what else do you have on your plate besides some working and spending time with your daughter and before last time we had you, like you were in Spain, and I remember
Yes.
I was impressed because Hannibal, you weren't able to make that one, but Pedro was there, and hey, Pedro, we see you in the chat. How are you? But her internet went out in the hotel, and I remember you were like running through the hallway. Like she was proven to be a true gig worker. It was awesome. She's like running to
Yeah.
find a signal, and it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
actually off back there to the exact same hotel in 2 weeks. So I'm off on holiday there again.
You get a lot of holiday.
Yeah, I like holidays.
That's
Well, we all
the
do.
freedom
But
of
I
being a
don't.
gig worker.
I
Yeah.
love holiday, but I don't
Yeah.
get to do a lot.
Yeah, I don't know for the next few weeks it's like my daughter's birthday Sunday, it's my partner's birthday next week, and my birthday the following week. I've
Oh,
got the
my.
filming that on my birthday. And then go on holiday 2 days after for a week. I don't know, forwards. Don't know. I don't have any holidays planned for like July, August or anything. But my June's very busy.
Yet, because
Yeah.
we don't know what's happening, what your big thing is, but your big thing might change your whole summer. Who knows?
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I heard right, I heard you say 1 million plus are going to see it, so that's pretty.
I'd imagine so. I don't know the exact viewers, but I know it's a lot.
Now, is this something just for overseas, or is it going to be worldwide?
I'm not sure. I'll have to Google what it's going to be on to see. I nearly said
go
where it's
ahead,
going to
tell me.
be on
I'll
then.
Google it real quick. Go ahead
You
and
nearly
tell me.
caught me out then of saying where it's going to be on.
Yeah, don't get her in trouble, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't purposely trying to figure out. I was just wondering, is it something we're going to be able to see here, or is it something that she's going to have to post to her channel and we're going to have to see there? Just kind of like one of those things where you might be watching something, you're like, oh, there's Atlanta.
Yeah, I think it's a British thing, but I will double check.
Well, hopefully you can send us the link once it's good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, I am sure on her channel she'll say what she can say.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm sure she will, because whatever I did see, I know there was one comment in there. The first comment I saw, in fact, was to you. It said, it's like, well, why'd you even make this video then?
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
because I'm excited.
I know. And I saw your reply. And even before I clicked it to see it, because I was like, that's rude. Like, so I clicked it to see your reply. And I was thinking the same thing, because I was like, because she's excited about something.
Yeah.
And she's, and I was like, I don't know. I was just like,
that's TikTok for you. There's so many trolls on TikTok. It's ridiculous.
No, but this is the first time she's done something, because didn't Deliveroo do a documentary on it?
Yes. And I can say this one. I did maybe 3 days ago now. I did a photo shoot with Deliveroo that should be out very soon for they're opening in Brighton, just down the road, it's called a Deliveroo Hop, which is I don't know if you know what like a dark kitchen is.
Is that
like a ghost kitchen?
Yeah, like a ghost kitchen. So it's similar, what they're calling as a hop for like groceries run by Deliveroo. So I did a photo shoot a few days ago that's going to be going out to all like the media to promote it.
That's
which
awesome.
should be out very soon.
So like a grocery store where you couldn't go and shop personally.
Yes.
But there will be staff in there putting orders together and getting them ready for delivery people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Kind of like a GoPuff.
Does
Kinda like
GoPuff
That's what
do it
GoPuff
all
does.
out of their
Oh,
warehouse?
Yeah, all out of their warehouse. You can't shop there or anything. It's all out of their own warehouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're opening one. It's like 20 minutes down the road. So they contacted me and we did like a photo shoot the other day down at the beach and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
So is that something you do pro bono, or do they pay you for that?
And they pay.
Oh, see,
It just
side
gets
gig she
paid.
got going.
Yeah, it just gets paid into like your Deliveroo account. Like it's like you've done deliveries. It's paid just into there. They just
like
add it in.
an hourly thing or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the one you were talking about, Gary, I think was the delivery documentary I did a few months ago for International Women's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I think
is all that, is the documentary and everything, is that on your YouTube as well?
I think I posted as a short. I posted like a minute of it. I mean, that was only like a short video. I mean, we were filming for like 6 hours, but the video itself was only, I think, like a couple of minutes long.
She's like, I did 6 hours and we got a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Pretty
it's on
much.
maybe it's on Deliveroo's page.
Yeah, it's on Deliveroo. If you just type in like Deliveroo International Women's Day, and then it comes up on their website.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it.
So yeah, you're kind of like the rest of us. You're just playing it by ear. You've gone to the hybrid model. Let's let everybody know what your socials are. Let's plug all your social medias, because who knows what people are on, what they're not. And
Thank you. I mean, then my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is all Atlanta Delivers, and my Facebook page.
Okay.
Everything's the same. All Atlanta Delivers.
And Twitter.
Yes, I don't really use it though. I mean, actually, no, I do post my YouTube videos there. I'm not that active on it.
Okay. Well, we'll post them
But I
all
do
in the
have
show
it.
notes anyway,
Yeah.
because who knows who's on what platform. So
Yeah, true. Thank you.
yeah, of course. And I guess that's a wrap for the week. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. And of course, subscribe to Atlanta Delivers. And if you're not already subscribed to Gary, Kim, and the one and only Hannibal, make sure you subscribe to them as well. And thank you everybody for joining us in the live. I know that for me, this was a weird time. This started at 3 p.m. But my evening's free too. So next week we will be back to the normal 9 o'clock. And I did make a little format change where, well, I'm not going to give it away, but where I think it's going to be a little more interactive between us. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And I mean, not that we're already not interactive, but I want to have everybody presenting a story, or kind of be in the lead on each one. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So we'll see you back here next week on the rodeo. And thank you everybody for joining us.
Before we shut down, can I go ahead and give a plug too?
No.
I'm going to do it anyways because
Go ahead.
he does a lot for us. If you don't know, Pedro is throwing together a gig conference for us.
Oh, good point.
For the gig workers. Steve's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I believe Hannibal is going to be there.
Yes, sir.
So if you're not going to attend, it's free for all. You can RSVP at the 2022.gigworkerconference.com. I just posted a link to it in the chat. It's free for everybody to show up. If you're not going to show up, they will be having live streams that day as well that you can watch from multiple YouTubers.
Awesome.
That's it, guys, right there. I know Gary posted it too, but that's it. And it's free to register. And you can also get some more info from it. And I know I talked to Pedro yesterday. I know that he's got somebody working on this website with him that's constantly updating it. Hannibal, you probably know more about that too. But
yeah,
I know when you go there, it could be different each day. So, if you want to keep going back and checking it out for content. But I do know that Pedro is wanting everybody to, register. And then if you can't make it, you can't make it. But he's trying to figure out somewhat of an idea.
He's trying to figure out food, games, all that stuff, because everything's free. And actually, I just learned that John McKalen is supposed to be doing a guest spot there, talk as well about some books and
John's driving through Denver, which is kind of out of it's just a different way, and then we'll caravan to the Arch. So
nice. That's going to be interesting. That should be a video or two made about that.
Cuddling going on that van.
Well, Gary was trying to convince Roy the other night to fly out here and drive out there too, so yeah. Talk about it could get even.
So Atlanta,
crazier.
if you don't have anything going on in July.
The last Saturday of July in St. Louis. So
and
we
actually,
do.
My birthday's around that weekend too. So if anybody wants to bring me a present, that's okay.
Yeah, and Gary, we should talk about that on Sunday a little bit because I want to talk about the house idea. I was throwing that by Pedro too, as like why and kind of the logistics of what I was thinking about that. But so yeah, we should because that's gonna have to. I know you're not involved. Gary's like, I'm not going to that house.
Okay, he pitched naked slip and slide. Seriously,
gotta have fun, man.
What's going on, guys?
You only live once, man.
Anyway, we will be talking about that on Sunday's show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump.
All right, guys.
In that one.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, panel, for joining us. Thank you, Atlanta, for joining us. And make sure to check out Atlanta's channel too. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you back here next Thursday, if not before. Bye, everybody.
Later.